My first area, of course, and so we went out to go eat tacos, and my companion says he wants dos tacos de suadero, and so suadero, that's pretty close to cuaderno, and so I said cuaderno, so dos tacos de cuaderno, por favor, and that's 2 tacos of notebook, please. And so I said that, and he's like, what'd you say to me? And I'm like, I don't know. And so my companion corrected me and ordered the right tacos for me, but that's the biggest one I could think of. We knocked on her house, and then she let us in. Her husband was fixing things outside. Unfortunately, he didn't want to listen to us, so we just decided to take advantage, and we talked to her. We were teaching the lesson, and then we just felt really strongly like they're getting a divorce, and that was like the biggest thing. And so the whole lesson, we were just saying, you can fix what your husband, you can fix all these things, blah blah blah. Just applying it perfectly, and it was just so smooth. And so at the end of also what we did is during Joseph Smith's first prayer, during that whole experience, we usually what my companion at that time were doing, so we had them close their eyes and imagine what that was actually, how that was, and how what he was seeing. And so we did that, and it's like, so what do you what do you think, like how are you feeling, what do you, sorry, it's kind of hard to say, but what did you see, like how do you feel, what do you have to say? And he's like, I don't know, I couldn't see anything because I was just feeling this thing that was overwhelming me inside of me, just this warmth. And so we're like, awesome. So we explained that was a spirit, and that was the first time she had ever felt that. And so she's also like, and how did you know about my husband and my problems? And so we again testified of the spirit and everything. And so that was a really cool experience of how the spirit helps you to teach. And it's not all the knowledge you know can know everything in the world, but the spirit knows how to apply it to each person. So it was really cool to see that.
Awesome.
Probably the craziest that was most awkward to me was the chicharrones, and that's like pig skin that's either dried or put in salsa, and you just eat that with a tortilla. It ends up being okay at the end of the mission, but at the beginning it's really it's the weirdest texture you'll eat, so that's probably the weirdest. Probably just hard work pays off, just because no matter how hard the day was or whatever, we always had like at least one good thing happen. And so if nobody answered their doors, if all of our appointments fell through, at least we were able to visit an inactive person and then change their whole week around, or we were able to visit or help somebody. And so no matter, like 12 hours passed by and it sucked, but somewhere in between we were able to see something like, oh yeah, that was a good experience. And so every day, no matter how hard we were working, we were able to see something like that. But I know that because we were working hard, we were blessed by those kind of experiences.
Good.
Probably play the trompo. It's a toy kids a lot of times play with there, and so it's like a yo-yo. So a few of elders and we got really good at it, and so we had competitions of how cool of tricks we could do with those. Rain, it rains really hard sometimes, and it comes out of nowhere. And so sometimes we're in a lesson, and then all of a sudden we just hear just going like crazy. And then of course we had to walk uphill to our house, so it's pretty tough to walk against the rain while it's flooding down a hill. And so that's probably the craziest weather. Yeah, you got home and there wasn't a part of your body that wasn't dry, so it was very wet. I don't remember how much or whatever, just because the worst memories I have is just walking up the hill at 9 o'clock at night after we're all done. It's still raining. We have our umbrellas, but those don't work anymore because rain's coming from all angles. And just walking up, not even caring anymore. We're just walking. We're soaked. Oh well. So just one area is just very difficult because there were just tons of religions in this little tiny town, and so there were only we opened up the area, and there was 2 active families in the whole town, and the closest chapel was a half an hour away, and church started at 8 o'clock. And so we had to find investigators with the 2 members we had, and then put them on a bus at about 7:20 in the morning to be able to get to the house of prayer by 8 o'clock. And so it turned people off a lot, saying, would you go to church? Like, oh yeah, no problem, where's it at? Oh, it's in the next town over. Oh, that's 30 minutes away. Yeah, and it's at 8 o'clock. Okay. And so it was really tough because it was just, we didn't have a nice chapel for them to see. We didn't have nice anything. It was just a house. And so that was pretty tough. And eventually, once more people started getting baptized, then there was more members, and then more people knew who we were. And so, but at the beginning, it was really tough because no one knew who we were. That was pretty tough. Probably just not to fall out of your habits. I just every habit that I dropped was just one at a time, and so I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna get up at 6:30 anymore. I don't have to. And then I started getting up later, and then like oh, it's okay. I won't read the scriptures today. Like I'm fine. I read it yesterday, and so there's one habit at a time. And so then you have to just pick those back up, and it's a lot harder to get those habits back. And so now that like I do it every day, I saw the difference of when on the mission, of course, of spiritual high that I got off, that was a low, and now that I'm back, so I've seen the difference, and I know that you got to keep those habits strong, or you'll start to feel the difference again.